Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome back here inside the WB Mason Coaches Report. Matt Durant joined each and every Monday by head coach of the Hofstra Pride softball team, Larissa Anderson, coming off of a two-loss weekend after a rain out on Sunday. Just two losses on Saturday, 4-3 and 4-2. Coach, just break down the first game because it seemed like you got a pretty solid day in the circle from Jess Peslak. Aside from some control issues, the offense just wasn't there to pick her up.
They pitched unbelievable against us. They had a great game plan. We didn't get the quality at bat when we needed it. We left 10 runners on base in that first game. That's where we need to get better, and that's continually been our Achilles heel throughout the entire course of the season. Peslak gave us an opportunity, and when we made the pitching change and we put Scarpato in, she did exactly what she's supposed to do. She rolled out 3 consecutive ground balls. We just didn't make the plays behind to be able to get out of that inning, which really set the tone.
You went with Madison Ambush as the DP in this one, and she actually had a home run for you. Just talk about the decision to put her in the starting lineup and give her an opportunity at the plate.
It was the matchup. It was knowing what their pitchers, what their strengths were, and it was Madison Ambush's strength, based on what she does naturally very, very well. So it was a great matchup, and I knew it would be right into Ambush's powerhouse based on what their pitchers threw. So it was great to see that she capitalized on that.
In the second game, it just seemed like Madison Grimm she had control over the game. Little by little, runs were scored by CFC, and it seemed like up until the 7th inning, once they got that 4th run, there was a lot of open window. What happened with the offense, do you think, that they didn't capitalize in those first 6 or 7 innings?
They pitched great. I mean, we were being no hit into the 6th inning, and then Corinne Bailey had that double, tried to stretch it to a triple for the one hit that we had. I got to tip my cap to College Charleston. They played great against us. They played with a lot more energy and a lot more enthusiasm. We played back on our heels a little bit, and we have to be able to make better adjustments throughout the entire course of the game and understand what's at stake here. Grimm she got better. She did. She competed. She attacked the strike zone. She had walks in some key situations, and they ended up scoring. So 2 of her leadoff walks ended up scoring. And that's where she needs to get better, and she knows that. But it was good to see that she was able to throw the complete game, and she competed.
Corinne Bailey keeps seemingly falling in your lineup. She's now down towards the very bottom, but she had that clutch double towards the end that could have sparked the offense. Granted, it didn't fully, but just talk about the season she's had up until this point. There's only 3 games left, but her season up until this point, it was leading up till senior day, but what she's really done over the course of the season.
She's a natural leader, and she puts probably more pressure on herself than anybody ever could. And she's a perfectionist, and she wants to perform, and she wants to carry her team. And that's probably been her biggest weakness this year, because she wants to have such an unbelievable senior year. She wants to go out, no pun intended, but with a bang. And she wants to carry the team. And sometimes when the opportunity is not there, athletes try to do too much. And that's exactly what's happened with Corinne this year, that she wants it so bad. And I have so much respect for her for wanting it as bad as she does. And, sometimes when the opportunities aren't there, she tries to do a little bit too much. That's when athletes start to press a little bit and they get outside themselves. But overall, I'm just so proud of who she is and what she represents.
Now, Sunday was supposed to be senior day on the field, but it ended up being indoors after the game was canceled. Just talk about what that how that impacts the team, not allowing them to play on their senior day.
It's tough. It really is, because you want to have your last game. And I think they kind of knew on Saturday, which added to the emotion of Saturday's doubleheader. They want to be able to play their last game on the field on their senior day and be honored in the tradition that we've always done. But it was a very nice ceremony. We were able to spend a lot more time with each other and their families, and having Jeff Hathaway there was really special. I'm just so proud of the 4 seniors and what they've done throughout the course of their career here, and what they represent, and how loyal and how proud they are to come from this program.
You said 8-8 in the CAA standings. There's a couple other teams right around there, 8-8, 9-8. There is room for movement, but unfortunately you drew JMU as the last game in your schedule, and nobody wants to face that pitching staff. Megan Good, Jalen Ford combining for one of the best staffs in the country. You go down to their home field. What's the attitude like moving down there? What's the motivation?
Well, they're beatable, and Elon proved that this weekend, and no one's indestructible. So we just have to make sure that we take care of what we do, and stay in the ball game. And it's not a matter of how many hits we get, it's when we get them, and we have to be able to capitalize when we're in those scoring opportunities and continue to put the pressure on JMU. It's not over till it's over, so we got to go down and we got to fight like crazy to be able to get ourselves an opportunity.
It seemed unbeatable last year, and you did it with Taylor Perrone and Morgan Lashley. I know Lashley pitched in practice this week. I know Taylor Perrone's been around the team a little bit. What do you think anybody from last year's team could bring to this year's team, sort of as a driving factor to get them past this JMU team?
That you got to believe that the game doesn't care. The game doesn't know who we're playing against. The game doesn't care, where we are in the standings, that we're 8-8, or where we're playing. So we got to make sure that we go out, we play the game hard, and we play it with respect, and that we give ourselves an opportunity, because at the end of the day, the game doesn't care what you're trying to do. It's just a matter of how hard you're working at it.
Across the CAA, this might be the one to watch, really. The series coming up next weekend, you and JMU. Now, over the course of the season, there's been ups and downs at the plate and in the circle. When it comes down to it, what do you think is going to be the key to the weekend? Is it the pitching or the offense?
It's going to be both. I mean, our pitching has to be competitive. We have to limit the free bases we give up. And then offensively, we have to have quality at bats when we have those opportunities, because throughout the course of the game, there could be 500 opportunities to win the game if you count every single pitch that's being thrown and every single ball that's put in play, and you don't know if it's going to be the first pitch of the game or if it's going to be the 250 pitch of the game. We have to be ready to capitalize on every opportunity we have at every moment.
Matt Durant, Larissa Anderson, this has been the WB Mason Coach Report. Hofstra softball next in action Saturday and Sunday down at James Madison. We'll be back here next Monday.